So, one of the things that I've observed about the dream space over a period of time is that there are places that we go. And within that, there are places that we like to return to, places that we like to hang out, places that we even organise and keep things there that we like, places that we go to enjoy. One of the things that I see happening to these places is that after we have been in this place and organised it and swept it clean, then at another time when we return to that place, the place is completely ransacked, like it's been burgled. Things are gone, it's just trashed. So I began to see that happen quite regularly, and then I began to really adapt to what is happening here. So I began to realise that we cannot maintain these spaces. We cannot provide security in any shape or form to these spaces. So I then began to, as a process, abandon these places because they seem to be out with my control. So what I then began to do was I began to seek the Lord. I began to focus more on His word, to sing, to pray, to seek Him, and more importantly, to seek His house. Psalm 23, 5 and 6. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever, not just during the waking hours, forever. So the other night, I was in a place in the dream space and I was carrying an object that seemed to be precious to me. And I put the object down in this place so that I could go and explore further the area that I was in. So I went and I explored further, and after a period of time, I went back to that place to get that object, and it was gone. So this process, I'm used to this process in the dream space, so I really didn't think anything of it, and then I began to move on. As I began to move on, a vehicle approached me and I boarded the vehicle. And as I boarded the vehicle and began to leave this space, I saw a horde of zombie-like beings come into the area and search through the area. They began to ransack it. It looked like they were looking for things, specifically things that I may have left there, things that may have been of value, but there was a lot of them, and they just ravaged that whole place. So I'm observing this in this vehicle as I'm moving away from this space. And as this is happening, one of the they had the appearance of zombies, but one of them boarded the vehicle and approached me. And as it approached me, it began to speak, and it began to speak very clearly. And it began to inquire about objects, things that I may be familiar with, and things that were specific to me, things that I may perceive to have value. That was its main interest. So at that point, I began to move away, and I then at that point kind of woke up. And I thank the Lord, because for a while this was a bit of a mystery to me, that we would go to these places, we would organise them and seek them out, and then we would come back and then they were totally ravaged. I would never ever see anything happen to them. You came back and it was a bomb site, pretty much. But I thank the Lord that the other night, I think He's given me a little bit more of a deeper insight into what's happening. And what seemed to happen was, I saw, as I was leaving that place for the first time, I saw these zombie-like beings coming in and just proceeding to just devastate this area. And I thank the Lord that I have no real attachment to these places now, because I have abandoned these places. And primarily, My desire is to dwell in the house of the Lord forever, that I may behold his beauty and inquire in his temple. So if you're like me and you have these places that you go to in dreams that are special to you and you like to organise them, and then you come back and then they're just completely destroyed, I would encourage you to seek the Lord, to dwell in his house, to seek his house, seek his face, seek his presence, and that your real destination is the house of the Lord. Abandon these places that we construct and dwell in the house of the Lord forever.